Here with head coach Mike Heimerman. Demons and Lady Demons, an early bus trip, a little farther, going back to Texas, third straight in a row, this time to Texas Tech for a two-day meet. And coach, once again, another loaded field that you're going to get to test your athletes against some of the best in the region and even into other regions.
Yes, that's what Coach Pennington and I have been talking about. To challenge these young men and women, to have them ready to compete at conference, you got to go out there and compete against the best. So that's what we've been at Texas A&M the last couple of weeks, and then now going out to Lubbock out there at Texas Tech is there's going to be some more competition. I mean, there's some West regional teams from Arizona State, San Diego State, and some other schools out there in that area, and Texas Tech. Texas Tech's ranked very, very high, but there's going to be some other Big 12 schools there, but it's going to be a loaded field all around.
Well, you've had your share of fine performances early. John Gums, we talked about him last week. We're going to talk about him again this week because he just keeps pushing that indoor shot put record out there farther and farther. Right now, 26 in the country, leads the Southland by almost 8 feet in his event. He's been everything you could ask for in the first 2 weeks. And again, this is a guy, as you just mentioned, who will find out taking another step up in competition this week.
Yeah, he's there's some men from Arizona that are very, very good competing this weekend that he'll get to go out there and compete against. And I think one of them's been a Jordan guy, so I think he's throwing right at 70 feet. So we're not going to throw that, but I think we can throw further than what we have. So he'll get pushed, and that's one of the things that we are looking to have is him get pushed a little bit. So it should be an interesting competition. He's a gamer. He loves the challenge, and mentally, that's what I try to do with him all the time. And he usually 90% of the time he steps up. So it'll be exciting to kind of see how he does.
We talked last week. Kind of the women's sprinters were slowly getting healthier. Linnell Washington ran her best time of the season, the 60. But let's shift to the men here. And Galen Lloyd, there's a freshman that ran, I believe, 3 events. And you mentioned when we talked Saturday night after the meet there at Texas A&M, people stepping up to fill in situations they may not be accustomed to.
Well, Coach Pennington knew that he was going to be good. When he signed him last year, he told me, he said, "Coach, we got to steal. This guy's going to be special." And he is. That he's a workhorse. He's very, very raw. He's from Grant High School. Doesn't know a lot about track. He knows everything about horses, but not much about track. So he's a sponge right now and just soaking it all up. And he loves to work. He's in a group of men that love to work. Ebenezer Agri and Destin Scott. Those guys are, they love the workouts every day. They just love to come and grind. And then, he's been doing some work with the short sprinters, Kiev Harry, Tredarius Carr, Dylan Swain, and even Simon Wolf. Our sprints crew on the men's side is very, very deep. I want to say there's 15 to 19 male sprinters. And so those guys, to get any recognition, they're going to have to really step up. We had some people run some odd events last week. This week they'll get a little bit more truer to their events. But if they want any publicity or any gloat or star time, they're going to have to step up and really show out because I guess Kiev's been in that spotlight, and of course Jaiman's been greedy right now. He's been taking all of it, I guess, for what he's done the last 2 weeks, but rightfully so.
Well, you mentioned one of those names, Ebenezer Agri, personal best in the 400 last week, and also part of that 4x4 relay, which set a season best for you. So you mentioned there's a guy, and even a guy who's just been here a year, that Galen can maybe pattern his work ethic after, and maybe some of the success as well.
He's just the epitome of the perfect athlete. He comes with a great mindset every day and knows that he's going to work, and he's just going to do whatever you ask him to do. I don't care if it's at practice or if it's at a fundraiser or if it's at a meet. You tell him what to do and he's going to give you 100%. And most of the kids that we have on the team now, I'd like to say 95% of the kids we have on the team, between men and women, have that same mindset. And we're going to hopefully get closer to 100, but we'll see. I don't know if we'll ever be perfect, but that was one of the things I challenged the whole team after the meet, is some people stepping up in some events that they don't mind running, but they have their A event, their number 1 event, but we need them in 2 events. Some of them 3 events, and they got to come up and start filling those shoes, because we've had people in the past, and with Natasia Jackson, but we have a young lady on the team right now that's a 5th-year senior, and Janelle Moore. Whatever we put her in, she'll say, "Coach, I'll run it," and she goes out there and does it. Last year was the first year she ever ran the high hurdles. I think she was indoor champion and then outdoor runner-up in the high hurdles. She never ran them before last year, and I think she's right behind the conference leader. I think 1/10 as of right now. So she's number 2, and she's only ran it one time. And she made finals, but we took her out of the finals to concentrate on the 400, which again she ran a lifetime best in the 400, and she's only going to get better and better.
Challenge in terms of competition, challenge in terms of altitude this week a little bit. It's not crazy high. You're not going to Colorado, but it is a track that's above vertically what you're used to.
Correct. So there will be a little altitude change on our conversion times, I guess is what they'll convert them. So it'll adjust them a little bit. It'll slow them down just a tad, but not much. But that track is super, super fast out there. I mean, some of the times we just ran out there this past weekend at their meet, we're looking forward to it. And that's one of the reasons Coach Pennington really pushed it for us to go out there. We took him and Natasia Jackson went out there last year and ran just her, and she ran a lifetime best at the time indoor until she went to conference and somehow beat it. But she's just a machine. But anyway, after he's seen that facility, he says we're going to have to go out there. And we got invited to their meets again this year, so we're making every effort possible to go out there. We're leaving very early tomorrow morning to go out there, and we're splitting up the trip. 2 big stops, and we're going to drive the whole way out there to get there hopefully by 4:35, and practice time at 6:30 until 8 in the track, and then we don't start the competition until I think 5 o'clock on 3 to 5 on Friday evening. So they'll have almost a full 24 hours after we get there, but it'll be fun to see that facility. This is only the second time I've been to Lubbock to compete. We went out there when Coach Johnson was the head coach, and their old donut, their indoor facility. So it'll be neat to see this place. I've seen all the pictures, and it's a beautiful, beautiful facility. So I'm just looking forward to the trip.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.